September 13th, 2024, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy officially signed a contentious bill that restricts the sale of hemp products, now requiring businesses to obtain a cannabis license. This legislation aims to address concerns over minors accessing Delta-8 THC products, which have been easily available in stores. The new law places hemp products under the oversight of New Jersey's Cannabis Regulatory Commission, the body managing the state's cannabis markets. Although Governor Murphy described the bill as flawed, he felt compelled to sign it to mitigate immediate health risks posed to the children. Despite hemp products being federally legal since 2018, the lack of regulation has led to alarming sales practices, with some of the products containing high levels of THC marketed to minors. Under the new rules, selling any hemp product with detectable THC to individuals under 21 is prohibited. Businesses have 30 days to remove such products from their shelves until the Cannabis Commission establishes clear guidelines. The bill's last-minute amendments raised significant concerns among industry stakeholders. Governor Murphy pointed out ambiguities in the definition of hemp products, which could either allow out-of-state products or limit sales to locally made items, potentially creating legal challenges. Supporters of the bill welcomed the move as necessary for consumer protection. Todd Johnson from the New Jersey Cannabis Trade Association praised the extension of regulatory standards to hemp-derived products. However, critics worry that the commission's slow rulemaking process could delay effective implementation. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys finish reading that story on highat9news.com if you'd like to. It is quite a bit longer, but we have reported on this before, and we are going to go aggressively over time today. But Jason Beck is going to be really upset, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about his favorite hemp seltzers probably not being available anymore in New Jersey for a while. But I think that this is important. Obviously, some of the industry figures that are speaking out of greed as well, right? Because they want their interests protected. They want to be the only one that can sell intoxicating cannabinoids. But hey, I'd love to hear what you guys think. And Chris Christie won't be chugging any seltzers anytime soon.
Fair. Man, this is they're going after these products. They're not going to allow them to be sold. This is the first state that we've seen really be able to do this so far. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. All their people are going to do is just drive to New York to go get it in New Jersey.
Truth.
That's all that's going to happen. It's not like they're going to, they used to do that back in the day for all types of different things and whatnot. So this is more of the same. They're just going to collect all those bridge tolls.
Maybe that
people still do that for states where alcohol is not sold on Sundays.
We had to drive to the county line in college to get it because I went to college in a dry county. And also New Jersey's the only state you have to pay a toll to get out of. So maybe they did know what they were doing.
Yeah, Dr. Mark, my cousins that live in Vermont, they actually drive to New Hampshire every time they go to buy alcohol, and then drive back to Vermont.
Yeah, that's common in the East. I remember people used to drive to Maryland when we lived in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then people in northern New Jersey, which is a huge population center, you can just drive into Manhattan and go to a trap shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or go to a license shop in Manhattan at that point.
But this
are there license shops in Manhattan?
I believe there's one open now.
Yeah, there's one. I think that was the first one that opened when they was where they were at.
One.
Oh boy!
Mm-hmm.
But there are plenty.
There's 10 on every block if you're talking about the right store.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
exactly.
You get your sandwich, your newspaper, and your weed.
All of that. You have any thoughts on this, Chris?
So they weren't the first state to do this. There's been several states that have tried that. Immediately what happens is that the producers end up filing a class action lawsuit. And to date, the courts have been siding with the producers. So there was a Fourth Circuit Court ruling. So going back to 2022, there was a Ninth Circuit Court ruling that was basically about trademark infringement, and they won that case. Illegal products cannot, they didn't say that they're legal. They said that they are available for federal trademark protection. You cannot trademark illegal products. And so by the fact that the court says that these are qualify for trademark protection, that implies legality of Delta-8.
Wow.
Then probably 2 weeks ago, the Fourth Circuit Court, it was a case regarding wrongful termination, I believe, when an employee was terminated for using these hemp derivatives. And the Fourth Circuit Court sided on in her favor. saying that she was wrongfully terminated because these products, including THCO, which the DEA has said is absolutely a Schedule I controlled substance, because she was using THCO, the Fourth Circuit Court says that is a hemp derivative and therefore exempt from the Controlled Substance Act. Some of this goes back to the Chevron case being overturned, where state agencies they're no longer permitted to interpret when a laws or regulations are vague or unclear, agencies are not allowed to interpret that. So the DEA's interpretation that Delta 8 that is extracted from hemp is legal, but Delta 8 that's synthesized from CBD is a controlled substance, that THCO is a controlled substance. They're now saying that the DEA does not have the authority to make that distinction. And so the court, and I bet this will happen in New Jersey as well. As soon as producers start pushing back, it will be overturned, I would imagine.
Oh, they're definitely going to push back on that for sure. Not a chance. There's way too many people that buy products in New Jersey for them to not push back on that.
Well, and I think it's interesting that they're pushing it into, you have to be a licensed operator to produce or sell. Like, so they're not saying you can't make it. They're not saying you can't sell it. They're saying sell what you got now in the next 30 days and get a license, which is going to take some time for them to create those standards, right? So yes, they're going to push back at it. But do we think, like, as most of us are operating in the licensed market, right? Do we think that licensed operators should be the ones that are responsible for creating these products? Because now we have this requirement of testing that these hemp producers don't have. We have these other requirements for public safety.
So there's no requirement for testing of these products, or if there are, it's inappropriate testing. The states that have moved forward with regulation of these products say that they have to be tested for contaminants. For example, pesticides, heavy metals, and mycotoxins. They're basically requiring these products to be tested for agricultural contaminants. The minute you take CBD and you start adding toxic organic solvents, high concentration of caustic acids, you leave the realm of agriculture and enter the world of synthetic organic chemistry. Nobody's regulations to date have said anything about testing for synthetic byproducts or residual reagents.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And so the U.S. Hemp Authority came out with a big splash that they're going to start self-regulating. They specify that you can't have more than 5% of unknown contaminant in your product. And I say to them, if I give you a product that's 5% dog shit, are you going to consume it?
Yes, and
Fair
I mean,
enough.
I guess yes, and question, comment. If they're pushing it into the licensed cannabis market and it has to be produced by a licensed cannabis producer that has the same license as your Delta 8 vape is going to come from the same guy that everything else comes from, right? Hemp derived or not. Will they not still be holding, if they're running under that same licensed cannabis program, to the same testing, at least the same testing standards that traditional cannabis in the licensed market is held to? And does that improve safety standards at all?
No.
Not even the vitamin E acetate, because you're saying that 50% still contain vitamin E acetate. They would at least catch that, correct, or no?
Yes, but there was never any vitamin E acetate in the regulatory market. It was all black market.
Even with the hemp-derived products, because I think, God, I wish Josh was still here, because I think he said that he had pulled some things off and tested, and they're still testing for vitamin E acetate in sold in store CBD hemp-derived products to this day.
But that's not the regulated. There's no regulated hemp market per se.
I'm speaking on the right. I guess maybe I'm not communicating this the right way, and that's my fault. I'm not speaking clearly, so I apologize. The hemp market, because it's not regulated in the way that the cannabis market is regulated when you're looking at licensed THC containing products, right? Because he's saying he's still pulling hemp products that have been approved to be sold in stores that still contain vitamin E acetate and things like that. New Jersey is putting this under their cannabis program. So you have to be a licensed cannabis operator to sell or manufacture these products. That testing requirement would then kick down so we can at least catch that. Is that not even a little bit better for consumer safety?
Yeah, a little bit, but you're still going to have them putting out 35 synthetic byproducts of unknown toxicity.
Fair. But your 15-year-old's not going to buy it at the gas station with their boner pills.
So when we When we test these products, we are the only lab that I'm aware of. We put a warning on the certificate of analysis that says, in addition to the compounds reported here, additional isomers and synthetic byproducts were observed for which no toxicity information exists. This product would not be recommended for human consumption. So we have lost all of our hemp client base, with the exception of parents whose children went to the ER because of respiratory problems, or actually they stopped breathing. It's respiratory arrest. I have clients who have ended up in the ICU for 10 days before being moved to long-term care facilities from these products. Our customers are only parents, spouses, significant others of people who ended up in the ER. It's principals from the high school that are taking product off their children, off their students. Those are our clients now.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the clarity.
And when they move production of these products into a regulatory market, they're not going to be testing for the contaminants that are of concern, that are causing these issues. Delta 8 is safe. Delta 8 has an incredible safety profile. Delta 8 has nothing to do with this discussion. It's the contaminants that are produced alongside. Producers, we have shown in our lab that we can remove those contaminants, just like they would in any pharmaceutical product. We have shown this method to producers of some of the largest Delta 8 producers, and they ask me, why would I do this? It would cost me more money. Nobody makes me do this. Okay, so let's make them do this. Well, under the regulatory plans, nobody's making them do it anyways. They're just moving it on, so they're just going to start taxing it, essentially.
Well, they're going to start taxing it, but they're also going to put an age gate on purchasing, so you're not going to have principals coming unless they pulled it out of their mom's purse while she wasn't looking, and you're also going to have them at least beholden to some of these things that are tested for in traditionally regulated cannabis products that are on the market right now and that you test for every day. So, I mean, in New Jersey, at least, I think it's a little bit of a win for consumer safety, but that's just my opinion.
In New Jersey, you still have access to Amazon, and they sell these on Amazon.
Well, I don't have access.
Snap! Really?
I have access to Amazon in California, but I also can't buy the light bulbs that the state of California has approved because Amazon won't ship them to me. I know I tried because my old house had them. So there are ways to kind of control these things. Not that they're foolproof, but does anything help if we're really talking about the children? I mean, we know we're not really talking about the children. We're talking about the tax dollars. But if we're really talking about the children, any help is good help, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm running out of Diet Coke, Jason Beck.
On that, this has been fantastic episode. Thank you guys